Good day, everyone. I am Jose Jerzaldi C. Lobrico, and today our group we're about to discuss the lesson 9 or the Philippine pottery. So, in this lesson, we will discuss the history of Philippine pottery. We will identify the different kinds and forms of pots in the Philippines. We will identify the various decorative techniques and processes in making pots, and we will get to know some of Philippines' most well-known pottery artists. So let's talk about the pottery. So pottery has been one of the oldest means of human expression, molded from earthen clay, baked in the sun, fired in the kilns, and turned in potter's wheel. So, throughout history, pottery has served not only functional purposes such as storing food and water, but also as a means of artistic expression, storytelling, and cultural preservation. From ancient civilizations to modern artists, pottery continues to be a vibrant and dynamic medium reflecting the creativity and craftsmanship of its makers. So, let's talk about the different tradition in making pottery. First is the Sayon Kalanay pottery tradition. So when we say Sayon Kalanay pottery tradition, it is from the Kalanay cave site in northwest Masbate and other potteries in the Philippines with the same characteristics as those from the original site. So this means that the Sayon Kalanay pottery tradition refers to a specific type of ancient pottery found in the Philippines, particularly in the Kalanay cave site in northwest Masbate. This pottery tradition is characterized by distinct features and design that are similar across various sites in the country. The Sayon Kalanay pottery tradition is a significant aspect of Philippine archaeology and cultural history, offering a glimpse into the lives of ancient Filipinos and their artistic, social, and cultural practices. So, the Sayon Kalanay pottery tradition has 4 subdivisions: the Kalanay Pottery Complex, Tabon Pottery Complex, Bagupanto Pottery Complex, and Asin Pottery Complex. So first, let's talk about the Kalanay Pottery Complex. So, a Kalanay Pottery Complex has generally have plain surfaces and round bodies with plain, flared rims. Incisions are in horizontal series of diagonal line combinations bounded by straight or wavy lines. Chord marked pottery is absent, and it is found in Cotabato and Batangas. So, the Kalanay Pottery Complex provides valuable insights into the lives and cultural practices of ancient Filipinos, particularly in the regions where it was found. The distinctive characteristics of Kalanay pottery suggest a unique cultural identity and artistic tradition that is worth exploring further. Next, we have the Tabon Pottery Complex. So, this is from various cave sites in western Palawan, distinct for its chord mark pottery in the earlier cave sites and for its simplicity in latter sites. It dates back to 2000 BC. So, the discovery of the Tabon Pottery Complex has implications for our understanding of the prehistory of the Philippines, including cultural development, trade and exchange, and also the regional identity. We also have the Bagupantao Pottery Complex. It is often classified with the Kalanay Complex as 17 of its vessels were unearthen at the Kalanay cave site. It generally have superior quality, material, and artistry, and its incisions are rare. So, the discovery of the Bagupantao Pottery Complex has implications for our understanding of the prehistory of the Philippines. This includes the cultural development, artistic traditions, and also the technological advancements. Lastly, we have Asin Pottery Complex. It is distinguished by freehand painted patterns which include horizontal series or curvilinear scrolls. It is found in the Asin cave sites in Davao del Sur. So, the Asin Pottery Complex is significant for several reasons. First, for its unique artistic tradition. Second, for its evidence of cultural development. And third, for its regional identity. So, that's all for my part, and thank you for listening.
Good day everyone, my name is Netchel May Lumbukan and this is the continuation of our report. My topic is all about Novaliches tradition. Named after a Novaliches cave north side of Manila. Its remnants are also found in northwest Palawan and Calamians Islands. Dates from 250 BC to the 4th century. The remnants of this pottery style are not only found in the Novaliches cave but also extend to northwest Palawan and the Calamians Island. This suggests a wider geographical reach and potential trade networks. And it is also known as for its sophisticated and highly decorated shallow bowls with high ring-shaped foot, while the bowls themselves are generally plain and the feet are intricately decorated. Let's proceed to the Bao Malay pottery tradition. The Bao Malay pottery is distinguished also by its decorative techniques, frequently employing carved wooden paddles to create patterns on the vessels. Common designs include circles and wavy lines. This stylistic consistency across a broad geographical area points to a shared cultural sphere. That's all.
Good day. Good day, ma'am. My topic is the three types. So, first is the earthenware. So, earthenware is the one of the oldest type of pottery. It's made from natural clay or shelf found in the ground. After shipping into the pots, plates, or other item, it is fired baked in kiln at a relatively low temperature between 1840 Fahrenheit to 2030 degree Fahrenheit. This heat hardens the clay but does make it waterproof, so it usually needs to glaze to hold liquids. Earthenware is usually heavier and more fragile than other ceramics like stoneware and porcelain. It's often used for decorative items, flower pot, and traditional pottery. Next is stoneware. It is a strong and durable type of pottery made from fine clay. It is fired in kiln at a high temperature between 2130 degree Fahrenheit to 2300 Fahrenheit, which makes it very hard and dense. Unlike earthenware, stoneware does absorb water even without glaze because it become porous during porcelain. Next is porcelainware. Porcelainware is a high quality types of pottery made by mixing kaolin and a pure white clay, which feldspar and sometimes other materials. This mixture is fired at very high temperature, usually above 2300 degree Fahrenheit. The heat makes the porcelain very hard, smooth, and glass-like in texture. It's strong, lightweight, and does absorb water, making it perfect for fire dishes, teacups, tiles, and decorative pieces. Porcelain is also known for its bright white color and discreet appearance, even though it's actually very durable.
Good day, ma'am. My topic is all about the step-by-step process. So, let's proceed to the first step, preparing the materials. So, sourcing clay, obtain the appropriate type of clay, the earthenware, stoneware, and porcelainware. So, next is clay preparation. If the clay is not ready to use, you may need to process it by soaking, mixing, and removing impurities. Last is wetting clay. Ensure the clay is properly wet and workable. So let's proceed to the next step, working with clay. Forming techniques. Explore various hand building methods like bench, coil, or slab construction, or consider using a pottery wheel. Next is sculpting and shaping. Sculpt the clay into the desired form. paying attention to details and proportions. So, joining pieces. Use slip and scoring techniques to securely join clay pieces together. So, and next is ang trimming and finishing. Smooth edges and refine the shape. So, the third step is drying, firing, cooling. So, drying. Allow the clay piece to dry gradually, avoiding rapid drying which can cause cracking. Biscuit firing. Fire the clay piece in a kiln at a lower temperature to create biscuitware. So, glazing. Apply a liquid suspension of finely ground minerals to the biscuit fired piece. So, the final firing. Fire the glazed piece in kiln at a higher temperature to fuse the glaze to the clay. And cooling. Allow the kiln to cool down slowly to prevent cracking. So, the last step, decorating and glazing. Glaze application. Apply the glaze using various techniques like dipping, pouring, or brushing. So, decorating. Add decorative elements like underglaze, decals, or other techniques before firing. So, the final touches. Clean up any glaze strips or imperfections after the final firing.
So, good day everyone. I am the next reporter. Then my topic is decorative techniques. First is modeling. Modeling is a working of plastic material by hand to build a frame, and clay and wax are the common modeling materials, and the main tools. True metal and wood implements are often employed in shaping. So ang modeling is kamot ang ilang ginagamit para makaform og isa ka butang. Then ang kasagaran nga material nga ilang ginagamit is ang clay and wax. Second is incision. Incision is to engrave a design by cutting or scraping into the clay surface at any stage of drying from soft to bone dry. With hard bone dry clay will obtain more precise lines, but you have to be very careful that it does not break. After incising, clean of the loose bits to a strong brush, then smooth the edge with a soft damp brush. Incising is useful for making texture. So kanina itong nakita nga picture diri mao ni ang incision. Then next is the impression. Impression is to indent a design or textures into soft clay by pressing different shape object into it. Material with strong textures such as canvas or objects like rings, coins, crosses, and etc. And that's all. Thank you.
4. Carving is the act of using tools to shape something from a materials by scarping away portion of it. The technique works on materials that are solid enough to hold a form after pieces are removed, are soft enough to be scarped with available tools, hard enough to maintain shape after parts are removed, soft enough to allow scarping with tools. Carving is a form of sculpture where artists shape materials like wood, stone, or ice to create figures or design. So carving is a decorate object likely from clay or similar materials using a hand tool. 5. Painting. Potters often paint their pieces using ceramic materials like underglazes, slates, and oxide stains. These materials fuse to the clay body when fired, making them durable and resistant to flaking or wear unlike traditional paint. However, when pottery is meant for display purposes and not functional use, traditional paint materials may be used. Painting is a form of visual art where an artist uses tools like brushes, sponge, or even fingers to apply pigment or color to a surface such of convey.
Hello everyone, and to you ma'am, this is Mary Jane and I'll be assigning in this topic and it's called Tapayan and Manggol Jars. Tapayan. Ang tapayan nga raw ay may malalaking wine-mounted earthen o cream jars na kilala bilang tapayan ay ito ay matatagpuan sa iba't ibang Austronesian culture ng isla sa Timog Silangang Asya. Ito ay nagbuburo ng bigas upang gawing suka o inuming may alkohol, ang pag-iimbak ng pagkain at tubig at ang pagluluto. The tapayan also include imported martaban porcelain Dutch martaven. It originally from Klins and southern China and Indochina. Ang mga ito ay pangunahing ginagamit bilang mga sisidlan para sa mga pagkain at mahalagang kalakal sa panahon ng paglalakbay. Ngunit lubos itong pinapahalagahan bilang isang produkto. Tapayan is most commonly used in the Philippines for water storage, fermentation, and cooking. Tapayan was distinguished from much smaller cooking clay pot, palayok, or kulon. Tapayan are also known as kalimba or anggang in Tagalog and Itawis. At ito yung sample ng larawan ng tapayan jars. At alam ko na nakikita nyo na to in person kasi hindi talaga to mawawala sa atin ngayon. Kasi yung lolo at lolo natin, meron pa din silang ganito na gamit sa bahay nila. At mostly, ginagamit nila ito para lagyan ng tubig. At marami daw tong purpose based sa ini-research ko. And let's proceed. Tapayan used exclusively for storing water or sometimes called bang or balanga. To distinguish them from other tapayan, banga, the kitchen counter made from slaughtered bamboo that extend from the outer walls of the house. Specialized tapayan used for fermenting food products with thicker walls and earthtight cover are also distinguished or Bornally in Ilocano. At ito yung sample ng manunggol jars. Ano to? Sa old generation din to. Ika pa dito, ang manunggol jars is a secondary burial jars discovered in the Manunggol Caves of the Tabon Caves at Lipuon Pint in Palawan, Philippines from Neolithic burial site. The two famous figures at the top handle of the cover represent the souls, path to the afterlife, and it dates from 890 to 710 BC. The Manunggol jar is widely acknowledged to be one of the finest Philippines pre-colonial artworks ever produced and is considered a masterpiece of Philippine ceramics. It is listed as a national treasure and designed as item 64 MO274 by the National Museum of the Philippines, is now housed at National Museum and Anthropology and is one of the most popular exhibits there. It is made from clay with some sun oil. And the Manunggol jar is demonstrate how important maritime culture is in the Filipinos, as it reflects their religious beliefs and epics from all over the Philippines. It describes how souls travels to the next life on ship, it passing through rivers and seas. This beliefs is linked to the Anitos Austronesian beliefs. The Manunggol jars fine lines and intricate designs represents early Filipinos art etc. Despite the diversity of Filipino culture, this design demonstrates the Filipino shares heritage from the Australian-speaking ancestors. The upper part of the manunggul jars as well as the cover is carved with Gulliver scroll designs, reminiscent of waves on the sea, which are painted with hematic.
Good day everyone. So my report is the continuation of the report of Miss Maote. So if we say palayok, it is a clay pot used as the traditional food preparation container in the Philippines. Palayok is a Tagalog word in other parts of the country, especially in the Visayas. It is called as kalan. Smaller size pots are referred to as anglit. Palayok is very well known na jud kaayo ni siya sa atoa. Mao ni siya ang ginagamit sa pagluto og kanon or cooking rice and preparing soups. Palayok is made from terracotta of earthenware clay. It is durable and heat resistant, and also it symbolizes traditional cooking methods. The next is the Ilocano Bornay. It refers to a type of traditional clay or jar originating from the Ilocos region. Bornay is unglazed earthen pots, an industry that dates back to pre-colonial times in Chinese immigrants arrived and settled. Bornay jars have a small opening and were once used rice grain, salt, brown sugar, local wine or basi, and bagoong or fermented fish. Ang Bornay jars is naani siya gamay nga open sa iyang babaan, and mao ni ilang ginagamit sa una to store tea and fermenting foods, preparing Ilocano dishes, and also it is part of Ilocano history and identity. And that's all. Thank you.
Everyone, my name is Romulo G. Mejorada Jr. My report is Kalinga jar. Chromatic vessels o kalinga are divided into three types: rice cooker, iti yung vegetables, meat cooking, upaya, and water storage. Miso pots, according to scale rice cooking spot, usually large, thinner, and have smaller opening than vegetable meat pots on their other hand, and have average uniform size, small neck size. So Kalinga jar is chromatic vessels from native Japan, American pottery. Kailangan divide into three types. Kung rice cooking, ang tawag ana is tuyong. Kung pang vegetable or meat naman kay upoya. Kung pang tubig naman sab ay imoso. According to the skibo sa rice cooking spot are usually large and thinner, while vegetables are made past smaller opening also. So water storage pots have average and uniform size and smaller neck size. So morning tulog a picture na kailangan jar rice cooking, which is ato yung next nimo. So mausap ng kalinga jar vegetable meat cooking o upaya. So that's all. Thank you.
Famous Filipino potters. First is John Pitijan. Si John Pitijan nagpuyo sa Okinawa, Japan, kauban ng iyang wife na si TC. Si John Pitijan, one of the pioneers of contemporary Philippine ceramics. For the past 38 years, nagtrabaho si John in the realm of high-fire Asian-style ceramics, and he also sometimes explored the boundaries between the utilitarian and the sculptural, which he feels strongly and equal importance. Ang gigamit ni John Pitijan na materials, which is indigenous natural materials like clay, stones, and ashes. Ang nag-focus siya on ceramics because mao ang iyang major. And John Pitijan, since 2000, he has concentrated on wood firing using anagamas. Ang kaning anagamas is a cave kilns na mura siya gamay nga cave na binuhat sa clay na mao ni siya ang lutoanan or dito ibutang ang mga binuhat na pots para maluto or mugahi nga binuhat sa clay. Second is Jaime de Guzman. Jaime de Guzman is a Filipino Asian
modern and contemporary painters. And Jaime de Guzman, he was born in Liliu, Laguna, Philippines on March 4, 1942. Jaime de Guzman was a versatile artist whose work evolved significantly throughout his career, leaving a lasting impact on Philippine art. His early dark and powerful expressionistic paintings and his later more serene and nature-infused works showcase his dynamic artistic spirit.
Good day everyone, especially to you ma'am. I am Jamela H. Pascan, the next supporter of the group. Og akong topic karon kay about kay Augusto or Ogo Bigan og si Joey De Castro. So si Ogo Bigan ay isa siya sa kilala nga Filipino pottery or nagahimo og mga palayok nga gikan siya sa Tiaong, Quezon. Sikat siya sa paghimo og mga kagamitan na gawa sa ceramics na di lang nindot kundi functional or may gamit sa adlaw-adlaw parehas sa plato, tasa, mangkok ug uban pa. Iyahang garden makita siya mismo sa iyahang bakuran sa Tiaong. Then pwede ka makakita og mga lahi-lahi nga mga like palayok, obra og kagamitan na siya ang nagbuhat. Og pwede po nga magkaon og mga lami dito nga lutong bahay sa loob sa sulod sa iyahang hardin. Isa itong tahimik at magandang lugar kung saan pinagsama ang sining, kalikasan at kulturang Pilipino. Mao ni ang designing Ogo Bigan og kinipod ang iyahang garden. So next is si Joey De Castro. Si Joey De Castro, distinguished Filipino potter based in Mandaluyong City, Philippines. His journey into pottery began in 2003, initially driven by a desire to craft unique pots for his collection of cacti and succulents. This passion evolved into a full-fledged career, leading him to establish his own pottery kiln and workshop. In 2011, De Castro began teaching pottery at his studio, sharing his expertise with aspiring ceramicists. His work celebrated for their functional, elegant, and compassion items such as bowls, mugs, and vases. He places a strong emphasis on composition and texture, drawing parallels between the processes of pottery and photography, particularly in terms of balance and interplay of elements. So, si Joey De Castro, iyahang mga pottery works kay available siya sa Sierra Madre Gallery. So here's the pictures of Joey De Castro pottery example lang. And that's all everyone. Thank you.
So good morning everyone. I am Gerson Paraiso Pino and this is the continuation of our report. My topic is part of the Filipino famous pottery, which is A.J. Espiritu. After taking up ceramic engineering and living in the United States, A.J. Espiritu found himself back in the Philippines, eventually settling in Silang, Cavite to set up Cornerstone Pottery with his wife. The bucolic provincial setting inspired him to create delicate and elegant vessels and mustard, celadon, and bright cobalt blue, as well as early serving dishes and plates for many of the top restaurants in the Metro Manila. He also teaches pottery in his Silang studio. Espiritu owns the 24-year-old Commerstone Pottery Farm, which he runs and manages with his wife. Back 1996, as soon as the couple arrived from the US, where they tied the knot, and the first business that they ventured into was ceramic. So, si AJ Espiritu daw is owner sa 24 years old na Cornerstone Pottery Farm. Sila, iyang asawa og siya ang ga-manage ana. So, si AJ Espiritu is usa ka ceramic engineer. Dito siya nag-eskwela sa United States. Nagatudlo po siya sa Silang Cavite og pottery. So, na-inspired si AJ Espiritu sa bucolic provincial settings para mag-create siya og delicate, elegant vessels para sa mga top restaurant na ginagamit sa top restaurant sa Metro Manila. And that's all. Thank you.